Welcome back. It's good to see you both again.
Hold your enthusiasm, innkeeper. We bring tales of disaster.
I don't mind a little disaster in my tales. After all, you tell them so well.
She really does.
As do you, Clay.
Thank you. I hope my stories are as good as your drinks.
They are to me. Speaking of which, can I offer you a drink in exchange for a little insight into your disasters?
That'd be great.
Something that feels strong and magic-y, right?
You remembered. Yeah, that one, please.
Coming right up. Something's strong. Is this how you do the strength potion? Probably not. Sorry, not a potion, a drink. Hello, done it. I'm surprised I remembered actually, because I never remember that one. Something tasty and strong, but hopefully not disastrous.
Very tasty, very strong. You've really got the best drinks around.
Happy to hear that, Clay. Tia, you're bursting at the seams. How were the archives?
Fun.
Were they?
Mayhaps. The bleak stalkers were...
Bleak?
cute.
Cute?
Very. Jade told us where to find the entrance to the archives. But when we got there, we found it surrounded by bleak stalkers.
They were quite numerous. And so, shaped.
I decided to ask them if they could let us through.
And I thought he might need some help with that. So I called on your honeyflowers and extended my divine light to him. It made him glow softly, and they all flocked to him like moths to a gentle flame. Did you know they have velvet wings that can fold into their bodies?
I didn't. That's fascinating.
They were so cuddly and showed off their crawling skills in exchange for carrots. I asked them if they'd like to be our tour guides, and they were so excited. They'd never been tour guides before, and at first they thought it'd involve eating people.
I might have acted a bit standoffish when trying to correct their misconception. Clay was able to convey the message much better. He's very good at explaining things.
I think he really understands people. And that helps him meet them where they're at.
I try to. Everyone has their own way of understanding things, and I think that's beautiful.
I envy your empathetic approach to life, Clay.
Thank you. But you've got your own strengths. Like how you're a master of strategy, or how you're so good at making people feel safe.
I suppose we make a great team.
The best, I might say.
We made a great team with the Bleak Stalkers too. They led us right inside the archives, which were huge.
Large parts of the Everbloom had collapsed, but even the explorable sections were unbelievably spacious. We had no time for a proper tour, unfortunately. We had to make it back in time for the barbecue, after all. That meant we had to be efficient during our search. Though we did take a break to admire the artist hall that the creatures excitedly led us to. We found abandoned pottery equipment that distracted us a little too much. Using more time than was perhaps appropriate, we molded tiny versions of the little critters as a gift to them.
They loved them.
Afterwards, we split up to cover more ground. Each of us was guided by a group of bleak stalkers.
A dangerous choice. That's when the monsters get you.
That's what Clay said, so I enchanted the friendship bracelets. That way, we could always sense in which direction the other person was located, so neither of us would get lost.
It was so smart.
It was very useful.
I see you kept yours on.
I did.
They really helped with navigating around the archives too. It was a beautiful place, you know? I mean, everything's overgrown with vines or withered and full of termites. But we could still tell how much care had gone into building it. Some of the tree branches still had leaves on them. And I saw a couple of stubborn lotus daisies trying to break through around the rocks. I taught the bleak stalkers how to water them. They love drinking out of a watering can. But they also enjoyed sharing their water with the lotus daisies. Hopefully they'll grow stronger again soon.
What a shame all the effort that went into building the archives was for nothing.
But it wasn't. It meant something to someone once. And I could still feel that love in it, even during our visit. Maybe it'll even bloom again. It's called the Everbloom, right? Like, forever? I wonder who named it. We should go back sometime and see if we can find any information about the archivists. I bet they know some great drinking games.
Perhaps we should honor their contributions by studying the knowledge they left behind.
Why not both? They should be people first and symbol second.
Oh, yes. I guess both would work too. Good idea, Clay.
What else did you find in the archives besides friends and the beauty and horrors of time? I mean,
I got a little distracted when I asked our new friends to point me towards the cooking section. It was so vast. I found so many new bread recipes I can't wait to try out. I also found something for you.
for me?
Yeah, a recipe from a book of mixology. First I thought about taking the whole thing along, but it was a giant tome and the bleak stalkers were so attached to it. So I ripped out the page that looked the most interesting.
We thought it would fit your repertoire.
I think it does, thank you very much.
As for me, I asked them to lead me towards dangerous knowledge and soon found myself in a hidden study. The bleak stalkers didn't want to go inside. Like they were scared of its contents. So I rewarded them with some treats and ventured inside alone.
Sounds like you got along with them rather well.
I grew quite attached. Perhaps I would even call them favorite animals.
That means we solved your favorite animal quest.
We did. They almost made me want to stay and waste more time. Isn't that strange?
Not in the slightest. Time well spent is never time wasted.
Perhaps you're right. Anyhow, the study. It was a complete mess, full of scriptures, scrolls, and written ramblings that would be forbidden these days. A little exciting. And worrying. The papers I were able to translate spoke of the apocalypse, of the end of it all. There was research on the roots of the Aether Tree and how to unbind them, written with shaking hands and fading ink.
Was this more the scholarly or mad scientist type of research?
Hard to tell. The lines tend to blur with blasphemy.
Do you know a lot about the Aether Tree? Because Tia gave me a whole presentation about it.
I wouldn't mind a refresher.
It's a giant tree.
Good start.
A world tree. That means our world rests on it, in it, around it, somewhere.
In it, mostly.
Depends on who you ask.
The dragons guard the tree because they created it, maybe, but definitely because they care for us. And since we live in it, it should keep existing as it does now, because no one wants their house to crumble. A lot of people would get hurt if something happened to everyone's home.
That's true, but luckily for us, damaging the Aether Tree isn't possible. It's larger than we could ever imagine. To us, it's really more of a concept than a tree. And the dragons defend it. Despite their oath of neutrality, they're no easy foes.
There is one way. The sigils of Alcahest.
The what now?
The sigils of Alcahest. They're the key to destroying the Aether Tree, according to the scrolls I studied under the archive's candlelight.
Are they some sort of spell?
More of a manual to self-fulfilling prophecy. A way of breaking the cosmos in accordance with its own rules. For the tree to crumble, its foundation must be fractured. The 5 sigils of Alcahest represent the 5 dragons, each of which must be damaged to topple our world's balance. Only then can our cosmos reshape itself. The scroll spoke of experiments for creating a sigil, unsuccessful experiments.
That's reassuring.
Not quite. They were only unsuccessful back then. Next to the notes of old, I found others, written on cleaner, newer parchment with unfaded ink. Much of it was incomprehensible, written in languages I've never seen before. But various sketches of whales caught my eye, as did altered frostbite scrolls.
That sounds unsettlingly familiar.
I feared that the starfall broke a sigil. By ripping holes into Cassiopeia's wings, it destabilized her flight. If she's damaged any further, time could be sent into disarray. Meanwhile, the tsunami, like I heard, didn't just plague the archives. The waves broke down the barriers between the primordial sea and the Twilight Chasm in ways never seen before.
So that's 2 broken sigils? That's not good.
What an incredible understatement.
To witness 1 sigil fracture would be anxiety-inducing enough. Knowing that it happened to 2 will keep me up for many nights.
It's not 2, it's 3.
3?
Alongside the notes, I found an old map with fresh markings. All the names were outdated, but the intention was clear. Marked were the 5 interplanar portals. 30 years ago, their sudden appearance tore fissures into Gaia. I believe they were the first sigil.
Bad, right? Very.
Who could have done this? I don't know. And why, of all things? If the Aether Tree collapsed or even shifted from its perfect balance, the destruction would end us all.
Who would want that? No one's thinking rationally, that's for sure. They might have a good reason for it. Maybe we can talk them out of it.
I doubt it.
Yeah, me too.
Whoever it may be that's causing this, they only have 2 sigils left.
Oh, would be quite bad, right? Don't they say that waking up the Elder Dragon will start the apocalypse?
They do.
I feel like there's too many ways to start the apocalypse.
Maybe they're all connected, and waking will break the last sigil. Although, I'd like to think breaking all sigils is indeed possible.
Because it's impossible to reach to it in the spirit realm, correct?
No, it's not exactly impossible. One can make it to the spirit dragon via the astral sea at the dawn of the dying moon.
That's in 5 days, right?
Yes, but worry not. To reach such a specific location with the astral realm, very specific rituals are necessary. And Gaia's portal to Cassiopeia is indispensable. Said portal is located in and safely protected by the Aperture, the stronghold of the Order of Starlight. And its rituals must be performed with outstanding accuracy to withstand the treacherous astral currents. Only the highest-ranking members of the Order are privy to this knowledge. And I guarantee you, all of us would rather die than aid in destruction of the world.
If the rest of them are half as stubborn as you are, I think we're well protected.
Exactly.
That's good then. The rest is worse.
What's bad is that we don't know who's behind this. Or why, by the dragons in the endless horizon, anyone would desire something so vile.
I can already sense your next quest. But can I offer you a drink first? Your throat must be dry from all that exposition.
I wouldn't say no to a drink. Perhaps something that will keep my mind intact and defended from lunacy. I feel like I'm going mad.
Say no more. Okay, that's that fence. One frosted lagoon. A delicious defense against the absurdity of evil plots.
Thank you. This makes me feel a little less conspiratorial. I needed a breather.
You know what else would make for a great breather?
Feeble's barbecue?
Exactly.
You're right. That would be quite pleasant right now.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think the barbecue is happening today. Fable hasn't returned from their quest yet.
Oh. What quest are they on?
Finding Melina?
But we just saw Melly on the way here.
Perhaps they found another quest while out. Heroism can be infectious like that. Inky, what kind of drink did you mix them?
None. Maybe we should go look for them.
Maybe so.
Please do. No one has seen them in days. And the last things I said to them, I'd hate for those words to stay the last. Please, help me find them.
Of course. I'm sure they could slay any monsters without us, but some extra hands couldn't hurt.
But you'll have to deliver the apologies yourself.
I'll slay that beast when it comes to it.
Very well. But first we must solve our urgent sigil problem. I feel like we're just missing one piece.
A piece of what? Cake. I'd like to order my usual cake, please, innkeeper.
I don't serve cake. Never have.
Oh, maybe you should. Another delicious delicacy would be.
Also, still no blood.
Aw. The sorrow I'm feeling almost equals the grief I felt after the vampire glitter competition of 1389.
Huh?
I'd run out of glitter.
I could serve you one of my usual drinks to alleviate some of that heartache.
That would be splendid. I'd like something to enhance my immortal strength. No shopping bag shall hold me back today.
I'll see what I can do. Okie dokie. Yeah, with all the strength of a raging fire.
Thank you, dear innkeeper. My blood is boiling with euphoria.
Any particular reason for your shopping trip?
A very particular one, dear innkeeper. It is a matter of life and death. I must head out to purchase this wondrous sustenance known as comfort food immediately.
Do you know what comfort food is?
I haven't the slightest idea. But it is rumored to restore your morals back to full health. I'm afraid Ria will perish should she not receive it.
That sounds serious. Has she fallen ill?
A fatal case is something called being in the zone. I assume it's highly dangerous. She's refused to move away from her drawing board for over a year now. She even threw me out of the room upstairs when I offered her a blood pellet snack. How will her body handle another year without food?
I have some good news for you. Ria hasn't been sketching for a year. You guys checked in yesterday.
How fortunate.
And as for your legendary item, you should ask her about it. Generally, everyone has a different idea of what they consider comfort food.
How wondrous.
Though something tells me you should give her some time before you go back upstairs to ask.
Why?
Her patience is on cooldown.
I don't think Ria is cold. Her room was very well heated. If anything, I think she's a very warm person.
Right.
Though I suppose she seemed a bit cold when I offered her blood.
Okay, let's give her some time to warm up again.
Very well. I shall remain for a while. And once I've acquired the correct comfort food, I will make sure my friend eats every last bite. Like a vampiric mother hen to her vampiric chick. I didn't know there were vampire chickens.
There aren't.
Do you know that for certain?
Yes.
I could have sworn the ones at the family's estate had fangs.
Chickens can't develop teeth.
And here I thought we were comrades in blood hunger. Chickens are still very fascinating all on their own. Did you know they have very colorful dreams?
Oh, that's nice.
I once helped a wild hen with her dream journal. I'll introduce you to it sometime. My favorite thing about chickens is that they purr when they're happy. What charming creatures. The more I learn, the more they remind me of vampires. So simple, sweet, and ferocious, yet their origin harbors one of the greatest mysteries of life. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg.
I don't fucking know. What question? Whatever, the egg. I don't know. Not going to weigh in?
I am intellectually withdrawing myself from this conversation.
Yeah, I wish I could.
But unlike this unsolved mystery, I don't know how vampires were created.
Would you mind elaborating?
Weren't you intellectually withdrawing?
As a cleric of Cassiopeia, humility is a lifelong objective that I strive towards. As such, I must admit when I need to concede words spoken in haste. Which would be now, I suppose. Please, Kyle, if you wouldn't mind expanding on what you just said.
Certainly. It must have been over 5 centuries ago when a scholar stole some of the immortal blood of the dragons. The scholar offered it to Queen Annabeth, who would become the vampire's monarch.
I have never heard of Queen Annabeth.
I think that was just a plot of a really challenging board game, Kyle.
Oh, you're right. So then, Mike was real after all?
Mike?
Yes, it's all coming back to me now. The first vampire that walked this world was famous Mikhail. But most of us call him Mike. He had a very close connection with the spirit dragon in his domain. Eventually, Mike struck a deal with Tuat. In exchange for guarding the dragon's realm, he would get to live forever.
But that didn't work out, I guess?
Old Mike didn't read the fine print. The spirit dragon turned out to be a trickster. Tuat turned him into a new form of undead creature, invulnerable to age and disease, but weak to the blade. Blood was the only thing he could stomach to consume, and with time even sunlight became intolerable. Mike was no longer welcome among the living, but the dead didn't want him either. And that's how the first vampire was created.
Fascinating. There's still little known about the spirit dragon in his realm. Kyle, just how do you possess knowledge that's considered ancient by today's standards?
What knowledge?
The knowledge you just told us about.
I stumbled upon it in a grimoire I bought the other day at the local bookstore.
Nope, that was the vampire romance book Kaelin recommended you. Try again.
But of course. Dear Evelyn was such a history fanatic. How could I not pick up a few stories? That was one of her favorites. I still dream of her deathly beautiful countenance as she narrated tales until the intruders stopped screaming. She always told stories of our progenitor Mike, so softly. She would cradle a vial of his blood, and her tone would turn so reverent. A secret to share just with me, she would say. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to break the last oath between us as well.
I'm sure we can help you keep this a secret, right?
A secret between new friends.
If secrecy is how we can repay you for sharing this with us, then so be it. Since you seem to have been very close to her, I wanted to let you know. We traveled past Marrow Castle on our way back. It looked awfully damaged. The destruction looked so fresh, if only we had passed by earlier. Clay even spotted a heavily armored silhouette a short distance away from what remained of the castle walls. We hurried over as quickly as possible, but the shadow was gone by the time we got there. As it was, only rubble remained.
Was my dear Evelyn unharmed?
We don't know. The castle looked abandoned, like a ruin.
My Evelyn? What horrid fiend could have inflicted such damage? She must have fought back fiercely. May her opponents suffer twice the damage they inflicted upon her. What I wouldn't give to know her safe. I think I think I need to go ask Rhea about comfort food.
Let's give him some time to come to terms with what he just learned. Greetings, brave adventurers. What's that noise?
That's his spine.
Indeed.
Oh, are you alright?
Worry not, friend, 'tis but a scratch. So, about my drink order.
I don't see any scratches on your, skeleton, Scully.
Oh, your drink helped wonderfully, not a nick in sight on any of my bones.
Could have added some glue to the mix.
What?
Apologies, friend, we might be jumping the crossbow here. Let us recount our tale properly, Dame Carolyn.
Don't think there's much to tell, honestly.
You look exhausted. Are you wanting some rest then?
No, just wanting a drink.
That can be arranged.
Something to regain my strength. A good one might net you a story.
No pressure, Carolyn. Well, I've been making the strength drinks all day, but maybe I should try doing something different. Like this cursed coffee? Okay, how do we go about making cursed coffee? I need something that does... This is what I don't like, trying to figure out how to do stuff. I mean, I could do this. And then... this. And then... 3 points of this. This should work out. Heck yeah. A great drink for a great story.
Aren't you lucky?
I'd like to think luck has nothing to do with it.
Perhaps not.
Might have something else to cheer you up. Oh? Melly's back.
Oh.
Relieved?
Like a great sword's been lifted off my shoulders. Is she alright?
Yeah, though you might prefer to see her yourself. She and Dave left me their address to give you.
Who?
You know them.
Right, got it. Only one person could fit such an uninspired name. They'd better have apologized to Melly, or else...
You'll have to find out the details for yourself. Just don't keep them waiting too long.
Don't need to tell me that. Fable isn't back then?
No.
Sure are taking their time.
Feel like looking for them yet?
No, they're capable. Just my patience is starting to wear thin.
You had some to begin with?
You're pretty chatty for someone within greatsword distance.
Right. Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Scully?
With an offer like that, my friend, how can a skeleton say no? Perhaps something to enhance my aura? I would like to do the proclamation of this tale a proper justice.
Okay. Let's see if we can... because I do need to practice other drinks realistically. So let's find a charisma drink. 1,000 wins. Okay. What has, like, either good defense or... okay. No, I need something with, like, 2 points. This? Please enjoy.
Oh my. They say manners maketh man, but this drink alone has invigorated me plenty. I can almost feel the warmth of flesh on my bones again.
A pleasure to be of service.
You seem awfully eager to talk about this.
And you're not? Was it no help in alleviating that accursed boredom?
It was eventful, alright. Just lacking a sense of accomplishment, I guess. But no use continuing this pity party. Let's get to telling the story I know you're itching for.
Much obliged.
We started by making our way westwards, though our progress was slow.
Any complications?
Yes, quite a few. Before embarking on this journey, I was woefully ignorant about the plight of the Fisoan farmers. The less than ideal weather conditions. The flood that ruined a lot of crops. And now this pesky undead problem. I was stricken with empathy for their struggle. The least we could have done was offer up our means of transportation for any soul looking for a better life further north.
So we switched carriages. 3 times. By the third time we had gotten so far, of course, it took us a whole day to get back on track. On foot.
But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wonderful afternoon with Dame Carolin's cousin, Lady Danica.
That was nice, I guess.
The cousin with the undead snail problem, yeah? Did you manage to liven up that garden for her?
Sure did. Just had to set out some cabbage to lead them somewhere we wouldn't be damaging any crops, and...
They were vanquished with just one magnificent blessed strike. Truly a sight to behold.
It was just some undead snails, no need to have gotten so excited.
To match the excitement, Lady Danica served us some positively delightful cups of tea. Better than any accompanying finger sandwiches were some new facts I had gleaned from observing the snails. Even lacking souls, they still displayed some pack behavior. They acted like real animals, of course, but somehow I was struck with empathy for their plight. To unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action, despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective. Is there a more transparent yearning for purpose than that? My apologies, it appears what they say about old age is true. You can't help but philosophize.
And you couldn't help but relate?
In a way. One can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own or just post-mortem reflex of these old bones. Perhaps even my thirst for knowledge.
And yet your enjoyment of it seems genuine.
Truly, Innkeeper, you have a way with words.
Just lots of experience.
Though that may be, my worries seem rather foolish now. I count myself as quite fortuitous that despite all that my memory lacks, I can delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter, then, where the urge comes from? Anyhow, my apologies. Dame Caroline, I completely derailed our epic tale. Allow me to make up for it by continuing post-haste. We departed after that lovely cup of tea and finally headed for the Pale Woods. Lady Danica provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow with the most lovely temperament.
Her name's Lisa Lotta.
Our host also gifted us this delightful lucky charm, so that no evil would hurt us or Lisa Lotta on our way. But now that our little adventure is over, we thought we'd give it to you instead.
Some extra luck never hurts.
It's an adorable little fella, thank you very much.
How'd you like it?
I apologize, I derailed again. Where was I? Oh, our journey. I made sure to greet the gentleman that passed us on our way to the woods. What magnificent shadow armor he was wearing. Something about it felt oddly familiar. Perhaps it was only my hope that we would look just as gallant after our quest. Lisa Lotta valiantly took us to the edge of the forest where maliciousness permeated the very air we breathed.
What he means is it stunk. Real bad. We left Lisa Lotta there. Sparing her the stench seemed like the right thing to do.
And so forth we ventured.
Didn't take a long time to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them. Which also explained the shit smell.
For some such reason, the miasma didn't seem to bother me much.
Most respectfully, you don't have a nose.
Oh, of course.
Anyways.
There was a veritable horde before us, an army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest.
one odd tree at a time.
They were awfully interested in those trees, it's true.
At that point, I was ready to start decimating their numbers. And I would have done so if Scully hadn't held me back just as I was unsheathing my sword.
I was keen to observe them for a moment longer. The undead creatures were displaying similar patterns to those snails. They were just stumbling around senselessly. They seemed to be following a pack leader. Maybe there was a non-violent solution left at hand after all. I convinced Dame Curlin to hold off on the violence for just a bit longer.
I was still working out the best point from which to attack him. Couldn't hurt to try out Scully's idea first.
Except it did hurt.
Yeah.
While Dame Curlin remained hidden in the shadows of the thicket, I walked up to the leader, another skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition.
I suppose they were not open and respectful in return? Nope. Before I could even react, the skeleton had bitten down on Scully's arm.
Agony.
Without putting much thought into it, I threw one of my knives. Sorry, I only realized later that the knife I threw was one I had accidentally taken from here.
Accidentally, was it?
Yeah, a mistake, honest.
Uh-huh.
Spit it out already. I'll replace it or pay you back or...
Don't worry, I'm just joking. If it kept you too safe, then I'm glad you accidentally took it.
Thankfully, your drink did its job wonderfully well. Their teeth were unable to leave even a scratch on me. Dame Curlin was as fast as the wind as she got me away from the hungry undead. And so our fierce battle began. With ease, Dame Curlin took out several of them at once.
Would have been easier if I hadn't had to carry you.
My apologies, I was still mourning the breakdown in communication. But I got back on my feet eventually. Before long, we were both battling off swarms of the undead. They seemed endless. For every undead creature defeated, 2 would take their place, dragging the battle on.
If I know one thing about fighting, it's that you need to watch your stamina. We wouldn't last forever, but our enemies could.
One of them cleaved me straight in half. I was lucky Dame Curlin caught my upper body. But I'm fairly certain we mixed up the order of some of my thoracic vertebrae when we put me back together. Still, being held in her arms put me in the perfect position for a strategy meeting. I thought back to how we dealt with those snails.
We felt like I needed to maximize the impact of my blessed strikes, and felled them all with just one. So we baited them and ran, leading them to a nearby clearing.
My separated legs rounded up the ones that didn't fall for the first baiting. And once at the clearing, I reunited with myself, luring them all towards the center. All of the undead creatures gathered around my 2 halves. The sky cleared up. Like a crash of thunder, the sound of Dame Curlin descending from the sky, or tree, was all that could be heard. For a moment, my eye holes were completely blinded by the radiance of that blessed strike.
You're exaggerating.
I like it. Sounds very heroic.
It was.
I don't think it counts when what I did was essentially pointless.
Did the strike not land?
It did.
While the strike hit home, I realized that most of the creatures could be resurrected again at any point. It's a shame, truly. Even though we fought so valiantly. Oh. But we did get you something else as well, Innkeeper.
Right. Here. The trees looked really chewed on and dead. But the berries seemed like they were thriving. They're the ones Alfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate them now, so I guess you can have them. Just set some aside to make Fable a drink when they're back.
Sounds fair.
It was very kind of you to bring them back for your friend.
Yeah, it was.
I still wonder what all those undead creatures were doing there.
No idea. Hunger? Though it did look like they were going somewhere. Seemed to be heading north.
Maybe they were searching for more trees?
The Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Fosoa. I don't see any reason for them to leave the area before it was barren.
Unless they were ordered to. Don't they typically come with a necromancer attached?
Oh my, they do. And you don't suppose that gentleman we encountered outside the woods could have been the very necromancer?
I don't think farmers wear armor like what you described.
Fuck. Just realized where they could be heading. It's true, there aren't many woods around here that compare to the Pale Woods. But the giant root in the capital must look pretty good to some tree-obsessed undeads.
Ah, fuck indeed.
Just to clarify, you believe hordes of undead creatures are marching towards the capital?
Well, towards the roots might be my guess.
I see. They're heading towards Themis to gnaw on the divine roots, as if to...
Fellia the tree?
Precisely. Not that such an action alone would destroy the whole thing, but it would certainly do some damage.
What in the fuck are you talking about?
As I just stated, someone is trying to destroy the Aether Tree. The Starfall, the Primordial Flood, even the interplanar portals, it's all part of a big plot. Was that not clear?
No. Oh my, that's awful.
And insane, if it's true. Is it working? Unfortunately so. Or do you see stars in the night sky? And we don't know who's behind it yet either.
Well, Carolyn, Mr. Scully, the gentle person you greeted outside the woods, you thought it might be a necromancer? He certainly bore the armor of one. Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone? Not particularly, though it can be hard to tell sometimes. The politeness and desire for homicide aren't exactly mutually exclusive. Necromancers resurrect dead things to make undead creatures. Indeed they do. So, Scully, you were resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about that? Well, I admit at first I recalled very little from the start of my new life. I mostly stumbled around trying to remember my manners. But my memories, or rather the memories of my body, which I suppose are also my memories, have been getting clearer by the day. Let me try to focus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives, in the Everbloom.
The Everbloom? Did you encounter any bleak stalkers?
Why, I did indeed. They seemed very hungry for my bones. Such interesting creatures, they remind me of the old intellect wombats. Do those beasts still roam Fusoa?
No? What are intellect wombats?
Priorities here. Scully, who woke you up?
A gentleman of fine age. I believed he was there to do research. I remember candles held over notes scribbled on paper, ink stains on fingertips. He must have found me near my friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke, I simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped.
Be glad you did not aid him. We found his notes. They spoke of destruction of the universe.
Did the guy from the woods remind you of the one in the archives? Now that you mention it. I wasn't conscious enough to recognize faces when I arose, but I knew the armor looked familiar. I think I saw it when I first reopened my eyes. Metaphorically, of course, I no longer have eyelids.
A necromancer is behind all this? Is he trying to break the sigils just to get to Tuat, the spirit dragon of the realm of death?
Sigils? Are you perchance speaking of the sigils of Alcahest? My friend was researching them once. I always found them a wild figment of her imagination.
Seems like they're not, unfortunately.
Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat?
No, but they do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves access to all the souls the spirit dragon guards. Or he plans to destroy death once and for all with his perversions.
But, my dears, to destroy Tuat, one must find him first. That in itself would be quite the impossible task, no?
Not exactly. The spirit realm is well protected, but there are ways to get to him.
Can you kill death?
I don't know. But merely attempting it sounds disastrous.
Miss Anwar, Mr. Moore, Tuat is the god of death. No matter how insane the necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god. Only weapons made by dragons can harm them. We all know this.
You mean like Ur's great axe? A weapon forged for the dragons and by the dragons, meant only for their claws. The axe. It could certainly cut through the barrier between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself.
Would stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil?
Alright, you lost me again. I talked about this already, keep up.
I'll explain later.
It might count as a sigil, if it awakens or damages their plane.
Should not be awakened under any circumstances. Nor should their legendary weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. My, this is quite concerning.
I'm right there with you. This seems like too insane of a plot. Even for some big bad evil guy.
They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we are correct, this one plans to steal Ur's weapon, break their sigil, and then destroy Tuat. Dragons be with us.
What about the undead creatures marching towards the capital?
They must be a distraction. A way to keep anyone who would interfere off his back.
Quite the dangerous distraction if you ask me.
Those fuckers shouldn't be snacking away at those roots either way, should they?
No.
And those sigils of alcohol zest you keep talking about could do what? Destroy the tree? The spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe to be this monster's plan succeeds, it will collapse down to the rest of the Aether Tree. Not only would that free all of the dead souls, it would destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. It would destroy our world as we know it. Not to mention, Tuat might die. I don't think I have to explain to you why death, dying, would be a bad thing.
Once again, can he die?
Wouldn't risk it.
Though I believe this plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps the transitional period between the astral moon and the dying moon? Only then would the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed.
Wait, what you mean is this can only happen on the night of the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat? So it can only work in 4 days, or next year.
Precisely.
I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessarily complicated rules.
It is common courtesy.
Clay, I've been wondering, remember that man we saw on our way back from Marrow Castle?
Yeah?
You think he might have been the same guy?
I do. Strange armor sounds familiar, as does the convenient proximity to destruction. And more so, that blood of the first vampire Kyle spoke of. Part of the ritual to safely traverse the astral sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him.
Like the blood of a vampire eternally bound to him?
Yes. Maybe our villain got his hands on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than I anticipated.
All of this out-of-context bullshit is giving me a headache.
Inkeep, got another drink to help with all this mess? Something powerful enough to get me through this.
Anything for you, Callan? Alright, I'm not gonna fuck around. You know. Trying to make a different drink. Just double check it was strength. Yep, okay, good. I put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy.
I think you just put parts of my sanity back together. Thanks a lot.
Anytime.
So, this madman, if he can't get the axe, he can't kill the spirit dragon, correct? Correct. Great. Let's stop him from getting the axe then.
Great idea.
I know. Now, how do we do that? Well, first the necromancer would have to find it. For that, he'd have to get to Ur's realm. Thanks to the portals, that is entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through one of the portals to the Twilight Chasm, and then enter the endless caves through the Nightmare Realm.
Nothing easier than that.
Didn't Melly see some weird new bone way markers near the Twilight Chasm portal in the Moon Swamps? Could they be there to remind someone, say a necromancer, of the way to the portal? They could.
Good. The moon pools are much easier to reach than Boreas. We should catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm, and most certainly before he gets the axe.
Great. Let's go beat his ass. Hold on. What if you don't succeed? I have faith in you, but he sounds powerful. How about a backup plan?
Hate to say it, but you're not wrong.
Thanks for looking out for us.
If we don't manage to stop him from getting the weapon, we stand no chance in a fight against him. Even your divine strikes would be no match, Miss Anwar.
That is true. We would need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his.
Not sure if it's enough, but I do have this sword I got from my baba.
Let me see it. This is remarkable craftsmanship, infused with minor divine powers. Is incredible. But I'm afraid even this cannot rival the Great Axe in any capacity.
What if we mixed it with dragonfire?
What?
Do you happen to have such a thing on hand, young lad?
No, but I know we can find some. The ever-burning flame in the Highlands is dragonfire. The one you wanted to see, Tia? I think now might be a good time for that.
You're right. Dragonfire merged with Carolyn's blessed sword. It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. If we had a master craftsman to forge it, that is.
Rhea. She's a blacksmith. You're right, there's no one better for this job. And would be great for her competition. No one better for the job. I'm sure she'd love to forge such a weapon. And I'm sure you can convince her of the importance, Carolyn.
You got that right. Leave the blacksmith recruiting to me.
Very well. I'm sure Master Smith Frostgrip will be delighted with this opportunity. Having her on our side makes me even more confident that we can stop this necromancer's plans. I have the utmost faith in us. And I know the aperture and its astral portal are well protected even if we should fail. Though I don't believe we will. Because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle. And that Clay is as well.
And the others too.
Yes, the others too.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure if the 4 of you will be enough.
But don't worry, there's a lot of people can ask for help.
Like you. Like me? Ask away.
I knew we could count on you.
You collect everything we talk about, right? I try my best.
Could you write us up 2 quests for this?
I think we should split our resources so we can get the backup plan going at the same time.
A good idea, young man.
Plus, that'll give us an excuse to have your drinks help us. Not that you need an excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up first thing in the morning.
I trust in you as you trust in us.
Deeply?
Yes. Deeply with the knowledge that together we are stronger. We'll see you in the morning then. Carolyn, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work for us.
You got that right. Let's go. I cannot miss out on more possible details. I shall see you in the morning, Innkeep.
Thank you for all your help. Let's save the world, alright? Let's, Clay. Good luck. Good grief, we've got so many quests to do. Okay. So. Great axe. Aether tree. to it. I'm gonna try and great sword. That might be that one there. Plane of that one's undead marching towards the capital. Okay, that's the aether tree. Okay, I need to. Okay, great axe. I think those three are together. We'll try it. Nope. Okay. Right, legends or clerics say that the first flame Leviathan ever bestowed upon mankind. Okay. That's the Highland Temple. Draconic fire. Maybe, oops. Maybe this one? Let's see what else I have. Stranger. Undead. Okay, I think those three undead ones go together. Okay, got this one. Only a weapon forged in dragonfire could ever dream to hold up against the legendary great axe of Ur. Luckily, a temple in the Highlands houses the ever-burning flame, an ancient gift from the dragons that'll come in handy right about now. And what better sword to reshape with this flame than another gift from the Realm Keepers, an heirloom passed down to Caerlyn with heroism scorched into its very essence. Okay, undead marching towards capital. Undead, aether tree. No? What? Okay. I honestly thought it would... No? Capital is wrapped in roots protected by the divine. According to a myth as ancient as time, these are the roots of the aether tree. Is it... Ah, okay. I think it's these three. There we go. The Dead Parade. A horde of undead is approaching the capital. Their insatiable hunger for the local flora leads them to the exposed roots of the aether tree, and therefore to the capital of Themis, since it lies nestled safely in the roots. This is a mere distraction, so the necromancer can fulfill his true plan, but the undead still must be stopped before they hunger for flesh once more. Okay. And now it needs to be all the stuff from the Great Axe. So I think it's this one. There we go, the Twilight Chase. World calamity is imminent, but there is one last way to save it. The only weapon strong enough to harm Tuat and the Aether Tree is the legendary Great Axe of Ur, and the personification of evil wants it desperately. But first, he must make it through the Twilight Chasm, and for that he needs a portal. Sounds like a good location to stop him, right?